Like the last...
finish as much as you want.
Okay, that tends to be how things go. Oh, have we got it? Have we got it? Are you live?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are back live here at the EBM 15, the MB Glass 1500 here at St. Croix. We need to get a look.
BK's in the pit, it's glitched out.
Oh no, okay, so we've got to wait for these guys to get out of the pit lane before we can see what's going on elsewhere on track. As you may have gathered, Shane Kenty's connection...
He's struggling with his connection, but I will say, out of all this, Jerem Diswood has made a mistake, and actually, Jerem 50 is leading that race ahead of Diswood 1 and Viper's in third. Jono stands still holding fourth, but Matt is closing with 2.6 behind, and it is getting really tense here that we don't have a stream that is incredible of what is going on here. That we are struggling, like literally in the quotes of DJ, we are struggling.
Yes, we are absolutely 100%. We've been going feral here in the commentary box, hoping to see a live feed. We got one for a little bit of time. We're hoping to see that lead battle any moment. We'll bring you as much information as we can in the meantime. For now, it's still Jerem from Diswood, from Viper Z, from Jono and Matty in fifth place and closing in on Jono, which could, of course, have championship implications. Here are the leading cars, though. This is Jerem leading the way. Look at the top three. They've got to be within a second. It's incredible racing. It's going to be a little while before the order sorts itself out and things like that, but we can tell you that this is the lead battle. Jerem leads the way in the 50 CP Motorsports car. It's going to be all guns blazing. I don't see any team orders between these two. Jerem and Diswood, the top two cars out on the circuit at the moment, and this is lap 14 of 16, so we've got less than 2 laps to go, and Jono's made a mistake further back. We need to look at Jono. Jono's had an incident further back, guys. Get the replay on that quickly. Get the replay.
And he's got damage. Yes, he has. He's actually gone wide onto the gravel trap there, and that is it. That is Jono Stan out of the race there, and he's gone onto the gravels down towards at the last bit of the section of that left hand, and he got into the gravel trap.
Hold the replay. Too late. You'll have missed it. It's okay, it's too late, don't worry about it, but I can tell you what happened. He got the gravel trap, as you said, he got the gravel and just hooked it, and he has got himself front-end damage. He has put, of course, the It's Racing esports car up a position, and more importantly, that could be third place in the championship as well to the 24 PLE car. Here is Mint Matt, who's on a mission to close in on these three battlers, and look at that, the 66 car of Diswood is through. Jerem has let him through. I don't think let through is the word.
Yes, he did let him through there. He did. He knows that Diswood is fighting for a championship there, and he's actually going to get that championship. But he did lift off the brake there. He braked a little bit earlier and gave him that position there. So we have Diswood ahead of Jerem 50, Viper Z, and Mint Matt in fourth place there. And I'm so unfortunate for Jono Stan 96 leading the race at this point, and all the hard work that he's been doing and all these complications with safety cars and red flags and disconnections has really hurt the chance of the number one to possibly take the victory this evening. But it would have been so close. But unfortunately for Jono Stan and the number one, that car is over and out.
Well, goodness me, another twist in the tail, as if we haven't had enough. There is Jono limping back down. Engine damage, I believe Jono's saying there as well, just to add insult to injury in the last couple of corners. Of course, safety car's not a factor now. You can't see it on your screen, but this is lap 15 of 16, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the penultimate lap of the 1500, and Viper Z is going to need to find a way around Jerem in these last couple of laps to be in with a shout of victory. Third place, as it stands, is secured in the championship. Now it's about the St. Croix 1500 for Viper Z, and he is going to do everything he possibly can to get past Jerem. But with 2 laps to go, this is quite the ask to get past 2 Honda NSXs.
Exactly right, and Matt is coming very fast. He's got about 2 laps to go. Can he catch up to the back of Viper Z here? And as we look to John O'Stan, he's just jumped out of the pits. He's just outside the top 8 and 14.8 seconds behind 8th place there. So that is such hard luck. So unfortunate for the number 1 and John O'Stan. He's works, as I said, works so hard to get that lead and worked very hard with Duran 50. But unfortunately, that car is over and out, and that will hand to 24th, 3rd place in the championship. But overall, what a stellar performance! I can't be mad about that, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And Matt is lurking. He's just dipped under the 2-second barrier there, and Viper's looking to make a move on Duran 50. Will he make it? No, he doesn't. But this could spice things up here with Diswood leading the way ahead of Duran and Viper. Matt is closing, and he's closing rapidly. To never say never for Matt in 4th place. He's going to stick it. He's going to sneak a podium out of all this with 1.5 laps to go.
Ye of little faith, Spud. Matt is a man on a mission, and if he accomplishes this mission, my hat will be off to him eternally. Look at this from Viper's Ed. He goes to the outside. He muscles that NSX out of the way, and has he managed to gain 2nd place out of that? It looks like he has. Yes. I think Jerem expected him to go to the inside. I certainly expected him to go to the inside, but no, the outside line, 2 wheels on the grass, a bit of muscling, and he's up to 2nd place. He is now in 2nd, and he's clear of Jerem pretty much. It's going to be a 1-lap dash the cash for the trophies, and yes, there are physical trophies here, and goodness me, this is going to be a grandstand finish. We are going car racing, Michael Massey, and it has been very, very good car racing indeed. We've got one more lap to withstand, about 2 minutes and 55 seconds left before we find out who wins the Sancroy 1500. I wouldn't put my money on anybody right now.
And the gap is less than a second there, Adam, as well. So Diswood has got all the pressure behind Matt between Viper's at Duran 50, and Matt is close under a second behind Duran 50, so it's going to be so close. But Viper just glanced the Armco there, so he's not going to give up. He's really pushing that number 24 to get to the back of the 66, and this is incredible showing by these 4 drivers there. Unfortunately, not to have Jono in the mix there, but so far it is Diswood ahead of Viper and Duran, and this is incredible. Duran's made a mistake and he's gone.
The replay doesn't work.
It's okay, Matt's up to 3rd place then because of that, and Duram has got damage. Duram should be able to limp back to at least 4th place out of that one, but Matty's in 3rd. Viper's Ed and Diswood, I think it's pretty much the first time since, lap 1 of this 38-lap final stint that we've had the 3 cars we expected at the sharp end, and you still wouldn't necessarily want to say that the leader's going to go home with this one. This will be edge of the seat viewing, Spud.
Exactly right, and this is incredible. These three drivers had their issues in the early parts of the race, and the GT gods have played their game just like it did in the Abu Dhabi finale in the F1 2021. And this is helping. This is going to really work for DJ Saber to get 3rd place, and even with Diswood getting 1st place. But look at that, he's closed up, and Matt is about 1.8 behind, and this is getting very close, and Viper's just behind that slipstream range. He needs a perfect exit coming onto the exit of the bridge there. He needs to be under 6/10. He just grazes the Armco there. He's over 9/10 there, so I'm not so sure, but with Viper said trying to get a perfect run out of here, I don't think he's going to get it, but he's got Matt right behind him, so I don't know if Viper's going to get ahead of Diswood, and we might be seeing the end of this race coming to an abrupt end and coming to a thrilling finish. But Matt, look at this speed coming from Matt. He's going to make the move on Viper said on the exit on the back end of this straight here. Does he have enough speed to get into the exit? Viper goes defensive there. Matt's going to think about going around the outside. Will he pull the move on the outside? He does. Viper just pushes him wide, and as who's got the traction with these cars, and it looks like it has gone to Matt. This is incredible scenes, ladies and gentlemen. Matt has come through into 2nd place there. We have to keep an eye on the leader, and I'll let Adam call this, and this is going to be an incredible finish. But for this driver here in the 66, it's going to be all championship glory and the 1500 to add to the mix.
Two significant bows on the career of Diswood await him. He's just got one corner left to do. It's going to be the most intense corner of his career, but he's done it. He's around the final corner. He's approaching the start-finish line. Diswood won, and the number 66 on the crew take the St. Croix 1500, and Diswood is going to be our 2021 Trackstars Touring Cars champion. Mint Matt with the recovery drive par excellence takes second place just ahead of Viper Z. Jerem 50 takes fourth place with the wounded car on the final lap. Fifth place to Morgan Davies. Sir Slayer taking sixth place, of course, coming for you several laps down, which means that Cyric takes the effective seventh place spot in front of this man, or ahead of Jono Stan, who will just about claim eighth place for the number one Mash Spuds crew. What could have been for them? It was a grandstand finish, though. Diswood with a solid final lap didn't put a foot wrong, and he has taken the victory here, ladies and gentlemen. The 66 crew of Diswood and Speedy Tyres will be going away with the silverware, and well, that was some well-earned silverware, to say the least of it. What a drive. We said coming into this one that Matt and Viper Z had won every stint that they had been in. Diswood took the flag first when it counted.
Oh, my heart is racing after those last few laps. Even that last stint in general, what an incredible showing, and that is so hard. That is a drop in the heartbeat there, that's for sure. I was on there. It was so on, and I still speechless. I can't even put my words together. It's just what a finale, what a way to end Trackstars in 2021 there. Obviously, of course, there will be some bit of controversy when it comes to that safety car period that was set by BKX side there. Obviously, he says himself he probably would have made it to the end there. To the end of the pit lane before the leaders get to him, but obviously, regardless of that, it has had its lot: controversy, red flags, disconnects, bumping and grinding, contact, engine damage. It's got the whole lot, boys.
There were more twists in that tale than pretty much any other that I have ever seen unfold on a racing circuit, just in that last stint alone, but in the wider, overarching 1,500 kilometers that we have just seen. Absolutely incredible stuff. And Diswood at the top of the tree in the championship and in the St. Croix 1500, the MB Glass St. Croix 1500, of course, along with Speedy Tyres. What an amazing achievement. There are so many performances that we could spotlight there. Mint Matt, obviously, one of the first that comes to mind with that mighty recovery. Morgan Davey getting that Motul Ortec GTR, the first of the Nissan GTRs, the 2016 GTR, getting a fifth place. Ultimately there in amongst the Lexuses and Hondas that looked a little bit quicker around here. Good solid result for Morgan, and of course Jono had such a valiant effort towards the front of the order, only to have that moment in the last few laps. And it's this man Diswood doing the donuts, providing the baked goods on the main straight for the time being, and justifiably so. I'm sure we'll hear from him before the end of the broadcast as well. But goodness me, what a fitting finale to an incredible 2021 season, and for all of its faults, many of them that we saw in the flesh today, we've got to say that was a great way to sign out from main series Trackstars competition on Gran Turismo Sport as well.
Incredible scenes here, and as we see Woodsy going, having a bit of fun there, obviously taking that championship and getting the number one in that CP Motorsports garage. So it's been an honour to race with Diswood 1 and with the rest of the boys, and trying my very best to defend that championship there. But a full class belongs to those boys in the CP garage. They thoroughly deserved it, both teams and the drivers. That team is very incredible there. Obviously, the boys and the team back at the factory in their Discord chat, obviously working very hard to try and make sure, and the pinnacle of that driver, Diswood 1, coming in and round 2 at the Styrian Sprint in the wet. Was only in for a substitute drive, which turned into a full-time drive, and now has turned into championship glory for the number 66.
Whether you're looking at new drivers like Diswood, who came in this season, some of the other new drivers we've seen come in through TS2 for these endurances, you have a incredible class of 2021 that will surely form a fabulous grid of 2022. And as we look back on the Trackstar's career, if you will, of the likes of It's Racing, who has confirmed he won't be full-time next year in the driver's seat. He's been there from the very beginning, before it was even called Trackstars even. And but when you look at the level of talent, the quality, the sharp end of GT Racing and Oceania coming into Trackstars, you have to say the next few seasons could be second to practically nothing outside of even the World Tour level events in that part of the world. It's an incredible grid, some exciting racing that we've seen today, and I, for one, want 2022 and Gran Turismo 7 to come right about now, so we can see what 2022 looks like, because that was just the most incredible way to see what Trackstars Touring Cars is capable of. If this was your first time watching, I hope you subscribe to this YouTube channel. I hope you see more from us in 2022, because believe me, it's not the only time we've had a grandstand finish, and it damn sure won't be the last.
Very well said, Adam. Yes, it's 2022. We're going to be looking forward to for these drivers here. Obviously, new drivers, joining new teams, drivers staying in the same camp. I'm sure, absolutely, that Diswood is going to be taking that number 1 back to the CP garage. He won't be going anywhere. Obviously, Chase is going to do he's going to put his very utmost best to try and make sure he secures the secure Diswood 1 into the CP garage. But as we say, as we welcome him to the broadcasting team, it is our 2021 Trackstars Touring Cars champion, Diswood 1. Mate, big congratulations to you. How was that last few laps? My goodness.
Oh, mate, can I swear? That was batshit fucking crazy, man. Oh, my lord.
Well, you got it out of your system.
Oh,
Shane was
man.
swearing all day. It's fine. Go for it.
I can't believe, like, the top 3 cars who finished, like, all crashed in this final segment. Like, that's, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, far out. Just,
I mean, for yourself to be battling the likes of Matt and Viper said, and then unfortunately for you guys getting that engine damage, obviously the GT gods played in your favour very heavily to try and bring back yourself and Viper and Matt back into the fold, where we had the likes of Jono Stan and Duran 50 who kept their noses clean, obviously not getting involved in too much of your incidents. We're 1 and 2 at the moment, but unfortunately with some of those safety cars and disconnects and red flags, it really hurt them big time.
Yeah, I was, certainly that last disconnect, I was, definitely tearing my hair out quite a lot. It was, starting to get a bit choomy there, but, gotta put the head down, and, still a lot to play for at that stage, so. The inner wiser me prevailed, and, yeah. We played out to an absolute banger of a race. Lots of action. Far out.
That was
I've seen some recovery drives in my time, Woodsy. That was definitely up there. I can't imagine you're going to want to be in your sim rig for a couple of days after that. Are you going to take a bit of a holiday from the screen and the pedals and the wheels? Because I think I'd be too spent to look at it for a few days after that.
Oh, I tell you, fishing cannot come soon enough, mate. I'll be smelling so much oxygen and probably absolutely munted on whatever alcoholic beverage I can find. That's just
Well, the champagnes and the bourbons and all the beers will be flowing back in your house, and hopefully you're going to bring it. Maybe Chase is going to send you a personal invitation to his house for a bit of a bigger celebration for maybe with the CP boys. We'll have to wait and see. Well, we'll have to get those boys in, and obviously for yourself doing so well to actually get yourself in that position. Obviously battling Jono Stan for the lead. Might I add, and obviously you two having that lap 8 of 16, I called it on the stream as probably one of the best laps I've seen in 2021 in Trackstars Touring Cars.
Oh, mate, he put up an absolute awesome fight. It was just insane. Like, every time I'd catch him on the same section of the track, and it just, go one way, he'd go the other, and he was just defending perfectly, man. Like, could not fault him. And then we're going side by side through the back section. Really, really unfortunate that the game decided that he deserved a penalty. I'm assuming for shortcutting, but sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you got no luck at all. So
yeah, there's
yeah,
hard luck there, and he actually did get one the next lap as well. So the initial one dropped him behind Duram, and then he did the same thing, and then it dropped him behind Viper, and then I think it was either a lap or two after that he actually copped some area damage. But that was a very unfortunate airfire by Jono, and a big unfortunate there from him. But, obviously, you did a very stellar job considering the 24 was in the wall, the 1 was in the wall, the 66 was in the wall, the 95 was in the wall. The 24 was actually a lap down at one point, just due to me. But then Viper definitely put in the drive of his life. But the definite drive of the season goes to the man, the myth, the legend, the Matt Simmons. Welcome, my friend.
Oh,
cheers, lads. I'm kind of still on an adrenaline high, even though I'm shattered from a massive day of racing. I'm sure all you boys are. So basically, last stint, as I'm sure this would felt a couple of times, my brake pedal started glitching. Basically, when I go to brake, it only registers like 20% initially, and then like goes to 100%. So it's completely random. So that happened a bunch of times, and then our last restart happened again, and I don't know what happened. I pitted, and I was pretty angry, and I just got to go for it. and I had to ease up here and there, so I was probably losing 3 or 4 tenths on the ultimate lap I could do under brakes. But I got that sort of moment. I think I talked about it at Kyoto, but this was kind of a bit crazier. Probably 4 or 5 laps there where I wasn't looking times, nothing, just pushing as hard as I could. And I looked up, and they're all within like a tenth of each other. Then stoked. I kind of saw it coming up. I could see like this when those guys were battling. So I was like, I might have half a chance of catching up. And then had a mega battle with Liam, that last corner, or that hairpin. Fair play, good, hard, clean racing. And got fortunate, of course, with, unfortunate for Jono and Duran. But got fortunate now to get past those guys while they're unfortunately spinning. But
I was gonna say that you were right behind Jono when he had that mistake down on the gravel trap with about a couple laps to go. You were catching him very fast, and then unfortunately you got an unforced error on Jono's part, just really hurt him big time, and unfortunately that ruined his chance of fighting Viper Z for the number 30 and number 24 for P3 in the championship. But it was so unfortunate for Jono. Obviously all those calls with the safety cars and red flags and disconnects, it was really hard done by, and obviously for him and Jerem 50 were the biggest, I would say, one of the biggest losers out of all that.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I think they've probably all got a story to tell at the end of today, throughout the 5 stints. But yeah, that last one was pretty chaotic for everyone. But yeah, congrats to Diswood, Speedy Tyres on the championship and the win. I was stoked to obviously pair up with Jarman and be able to get us back to a position that I thought we could get to, which was a podium. So I'm pretty stoked to get second for Jarman, and because he drove really well in his 2 stints today. So I wanted to reward him with a solid finish for his last full-time drive.
Yeah, now we do have Jarman in the com box, mate. I don't know. Obviously, you were in the safety car, but obviously you would have been watching that stream. Once that stream disconnected. How nerve-wracking were you when that stream disconnected?
I actually wasn't nervous at that point. I hate to say it, but I was kind of like, okay, I think Matt's sort of a bit far back. He'll probably get like a 4th or 5th or something. But man, those last few laps that he put in were just incredible that he got up the second. And I really feel for him because obviously that brake pedal issue really stopped him from probably putting in an ultimate performance. And who knows, maybe he could have still come back from all of that and still taken the win. But yeah, through no fault of his own, he got set back and just still punched back. And on top of that, I'll just quickly get in and say a big congrats to Diswood 1 and CP Motorsports on their championships. It's very well deserved and it was a great fight and yeah, very worthy champions.
So just quickly, I gotta buy that brake pedal of beer, man. Holy hell! That probably
mate,
me.
I think if anyone needs to buy the brake pedal of beer, it's me.
Nah, we're all chipping in money so you can go get good internet and a new PS5.
Mate, I honestly have no idea what happened. I think
it's for a new brake pedal, lads. If you can all chip in, that'd be great.
I think it had something to do with my extended storage, but seems to be all fixed at the moment. It might have just got a bit too hot, but no, mate, I couldn't have asked any more out of Liam. Liam did absolutely stellar job. Not only in today, just the 1,000 and the 500. We were on the edge of the podium at the 1,000, and then just here he's put in the drive of his life in that last stint with some solid restarts. But yeah, I obviously was a bit off the pace, but yeah, to be alongside him, it's just honestly a big pleasure. And as I said to him in messages, I owe him 3 Zinger boxes. I owe Matt a Zinger box, and I also owe Jarman a case of beer. So I got a couple of people to owe.
Does KFC Australia do international delivery? Can I get in on this?
Yeah, you can get in on it when you come over to see the 12 hour with us next year.
Yes, good idea.
I'll try my best.
That's a late call.
That is, yeah, no, it's next month, isn't it?
No, February. But while we do have him here, I know he's muted, but if he is around, can we get oh, here we go, he's unmuted. But how was that last stint there for you, Liam?
Who?
You! Viper!
Who asked?
Oh, mate, I'll boot you out of the... Yeah, I'll put you on a...
Wait, I'm gonna mute. Can we
There's
just mute him, please?
I server muted him.
Much better.
Yep, lovely. Yeah, look, that last stint, if I'm totally honest, I was pretty disappointed, not only in myself, but just the way basically just myself, to be honest, actually. I definitely had it in me to really challenge the CP boys, just a bit close to keep the pressure on. Obviously, I don't know how it was for your perspective, Woody, but I just tried to stay close enough that you guys would at least see me. And in that Lexus, I mean, I'm sure those who have driven it, it's so tough just to stay in it and really rag people around, especially with those Hondas the way they are. But, you know, it did pretty well. The tyres hung on a lot better than I'd hoped they would, and I think that's something the Hondas struggled with later in the stint. But all in all, I mean, I think it's been a pretty good day. It's something we can be proud of, myself and DJ. We had a fair few troubles throughout the day, stuff that we kind of just kept bouncing back from.
Yeah.
And to say we deserve to be on the podium is interesting because you can look at all the stuff that went wrong and you can say absolutely not, but you can look at all the pace we had throughout the day and you can say absolutely. But there's a handful of guys out there as well that probably deserved a podium tonight, and that was, I mean, you could look at Jono, you could look at Jerome. So many guys were just on it all day and they don't really get to take any bread or Zinger boxes out of it, so I feel bad for them, but I mean, that's it's just the way the Zinger box crumbles sometimes, so...
Well, it was very interesting, like with all the paces between those guys, but obviously the 66, 50, 24, 95, and the number 1 car. Obviously, those were the main 5 cars in the top 6 shootout, and obviously all those 5 cars had different strengths and weaknesses throughout the whole stints there. And honestly, all those cars, like you said, like even in that last stint, if we didn't have all those situations, obviously things would have been very different for yourself, Woodsy, and Matt in those final few laps there. But obviously things happen, and obviously that is the world of GT sport, unfortunately. But hey ho, it was very strong racing, and I could say all 5 of those cars deserve to be on the podium. And unfortunately, only a few of us managed to get consecutive podiums in that throughout those whole stints. and then there was the others that had maybe the 1 or 2 podiums throughout those 5 stints. But regardless, it has been a fantastic race and a fantastic night of racing with racing with you guys, and the team at Mash Buds Racing can't thank you boys enough for putting on a special day and a special fight for all of us to challenge for the victory and challenging for those positions. It was beautiful, and it was some of the best racing I've seen in 2021.
I think I got to put my hand out here to Woodsy, because all the shit we give each other during the year, mate. You're stellar racing, it's been good there, but yeah, I didn't have the pace to match your Hondas, because you definitely put something under the bonnet that I couldn't extract out. But yeah, I'd say that no offense to Spud here, but yeah, they were on top. But yeah, the best of the non-overpowered cars won, I think.
I'm just gonna butt in here, DJ, because when you said you couldn't extract anything, I don't think you extracted anything to begin with. That's my tune we used today.
Hey, no, look, I was close, alright?
Extract an internet connection. Let's be honest.
Hey, Matt, you couldn't. Hey, Matt, you be careful, mate. You couldn't extract the brake pedal, and you ate the wall.
Yeah, this is just true. This is true.
So no, it's.
But finally, I had a brake pedal when Liam was around me, so that worked out okay.
Mate,
Well, I tried to forget that I had a brake pedal when you went around my outside, so that's okay.
But no, it's all in all, it's been a fantastic season, and as some people don't know, that I'm actually in my debut season as well as Woodsy. We're both in our full-time debut season, so it's been a very, very close one. But yeah, no, thanks to everyone here, and obviously thanks to Liam for helping me through it all. And obviously we got Matt there, who isn't full-time driving for It's Racing next year, as we pointed out earlier in the day. I'll definitely be enjoying working alongside him next year.
Just a zinger box, mate. It's just how it really goes.
Oh, mate, you already got one of them coming your way.
That's fine. Happy. Or Panda's box, actually.
Is now the time for the It's Racing Esports Camp to finally reveal who's actually going to be driving those cars in 2022?
It's me, isn't it?
I think I'll leave that one up to Jarman there. So I'm not too sure if anyone else in the team. I do believe it's just me and him that know, but yeah, I'll leave that up to Jarman there.
I think I did let it slip halfway through the race.
You
Sneakishly.
Did, yeah.
I deliberately leaked that one out and just sort of tried to see who would cryptically guess it, but
I was a bit busy.
I just pointed the finger and said, "Hey guys, you just said it."
yes, but I can confirm that, of course, disappointed who we've basically signed up since April when I decided to give it in. He'll be driving the 95 next year in the touring cars and the formulas. And then joining us in the touring cars as well will be EBM Brandosa.
Very good signing indeed.
Solid
Very
lineup.
good, awesome.
Yeah, we went to Brando and goes, "Mate, you don't have a drive next year. What do you think about this?" And he obviously had a few offers, and then Jarman passed up an offer he couldn't confuse, but I refuse. But I couldn't confuse. I can't even English. Yeah, he put it. He put confused.
An offer couldn't confuse.
Man, he could not confuse. I reckon
Can we-
confuse your
This
dumbass.
sums up PJ's day, let's be honest.
Mate,
It's
it's-
worth stop doing burnouts and bring out that trap card.
Hey, I think what we should do is we should like make a like a supercars, like what they do supercars after show or something.
A bloopers trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like do it during the week. We can all banter around and have a coverage at the same time. It's quite funny. But obviously a big signing for the It's Racing Esports Camp, getting Brandosa. He was really high up. I'm not so sure if you boys that were on the track caught it, that Brandosa was high up in second place, and he was obviously causing a bit of a surprise there. Like obviously we never really saw that 34 in the mix of being in the top 3, but consistently that 34 was actually pretty decent, and obviously on the restarts as well, especially he actually managed to hold up the Hondas a fair bit of time for a fair few corners as well.
Yeah, he had a great drive today. He's had a great drive. in the endurance series with the EBM crew, he's been pretty stellar wherever he's gone. I'm very interested to see how he and DJ do at holding up the flag for It's Racing Esports next year. And I mean, one question I think we have to ask, you didn't get to take the flag in your last race, but I mean, how are you feeling now, kind of knowing that, I'm probably taking the back seat for next year, at least from a driving perspective? I mean, how does that make you feel?
Probably a little bit of a relief, because in a way I've been, dedicating half my week to running the series and losing the time to do the practice, basically.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to dedicate what I feel like I need to be competitive, and I think sometimes it shows, and other times I get lucky and have a good performance. But yeah, it'll be good to just sort of take a back seat a bit, focus on running the series, maybe just help out DJ, Brandosa, everyone on the team throughout the week.
Maybe unconfuse the driver's brain.
We'll try and do that, but we got me being second in charge. But we also have picked up a pretty huge signing for the formulas too. I'm not sure if that's actually official yet, but what do you think about this? And you obviously had a few.
Yeah, not official yet, but I'm gonna jump over to the simulator and drive a lap.
Yeah, so that will be announced in coming terms, but coming for you, roasted me, so thank you.
And he saved a clip of that as well, of what you just said, so that's going to be edited. That goes with Liam's disconnected Bathurst and a few others. With Captain Risky also getting the one ups on the ABCs of one driver, one of the all-time.
I don't know who you're talking about here, Spud. I really do not.
Oh, apparently his name's Mark Simpson, but anyway, he doesn't know who Mark Simpson is.
Mark Simpson actually drove the last 7 laps. Should have been driving all day.
But as we say farewell to Trackstars in 2021, we also do say farewell to the full-time driver in the 95 It's Racing for the final time, racing in his final drive in Trackstars Racing Series as a full-time driver in the touring cars, piloting his Honda for the final time, having a stellar stint in his first stint and the third stint of his racing around the MB Glass 1500. But it's been an honour. It's been a pleasure racing with you, Jarman, and you will be missed amongst the Trackstars field, and it'll be big shoes to fill when your 95 is being missed on the grid. But obviously DJ's going to have that 95 for you, and he's going to do the utmost best to try and get that car into the championship victories like you did back in the few years that you've been racing.
Sure if he can respond while he's on the sim, but yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, I was there for the first ever race of what became the Trackstars Touring Cars Series, the core Australian V8 supercars, way back in the day, and it has always been right up there at the sharp end as far back as those Gran Turismo 6 heady days. And it does feel like a bit of an end of an era, even for myself, kind of seeing him decide he's not going to do full-time racing anymore. But in terms of season finales, as we've said, I think that was about as good as it gets. Don't know how much time we've got left on this stream, but goodness me, I would be willing to watch another 1500 Ks of that right now. That was fabulous racing.
You can drive it.
Please don't
like.
make me race again.
You can drive it. You can drive. You can take my seat, Adam. I don't want to put that. I don't want to put that 24 lap down again. That was a pain in my butt to try and get back.
I'm all Sancroid out from the driving perspective, I think.
But no, it's also been a big pleasure to have drivers like Matt Simmons and Viper Z join us here at Trackstars Racing Series. Obviously, as it was announced in the past last few weeks, that Satellite Racing and Viper's team will be in the main series of season 2022 in the Trackstars Touring Cars and Formula Trackstars, as well as the Endurance Championship as well. So we'll definitely be seeing that team, and hopefully we'll be able to see Viper back on the track, even if he is a reserve, or if he's just if he's just a co-driver when it comes to the Enduros. But it's been awesome to have these guys in, and it's a huge privilege to have you guys in Trackstars Racing Series.
Actually, on that point, the team boss sent it up the inside of the team driver on the safety car restart. How did that go down?
Oh, are you talking about when I killed?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
You
have
ab-
somebody leave?
he
I
killed Ridwan after the bridge.
I'll talk this one through as a driver's perspective instead of the team manager, because this gets awkward. Ridwan and myself are actually very good mates for context, hence why he's one of my drivers for next season in the full season for Satellite in Trackstars. And the red mist had descended a little bit after that final stint. Obviously, I'd been hit by an auto spin curb while leading comfortably, and I was pretty unhappy at that stage, understandably. And so when the safety car restart had happened, I was pretty intent on just sort of making moves and getting back up to where I knew I should be. And I just centered at the end of the bridge on Morgan Davey. And I realised probably about halfway through the sen, the brakes just weren't braking the way I needed them to. And I see Ridwan sort of rapidly turning into an apex, and I realise I'm going to T-bone him at that apex. And so I slammed the handbrake on midway through that, and the thought in my head at that stage was I'll Tokyo drift it and I'll try and reverse through the gap between Morgan and Ridwan. Of course, it didn't work at all, and I've ended up just cleaning him up, and he's gone into the wall, and I followed him. So that was awkward. And I was straight into a party chat with him to apologise. But no, that was cool. That's probably one of the other things as to why I was pretty disappointed with how I drove in the final stint. But we can ignore that and look more at the first two stints. I feel like that's probably a better representation.
Genuine question for Matty Simmons.
Yep.
I hear a lot about these auto spin curbs and things like that. In your opinion, are they real?
Oh yeah,
They are. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted a
We've got
pro-driver take.
So we had a 2-hour endurance race a while
That's
back
an
at
insult.
Red Bull Ring.
What an
And
insult.
I auto spun like 3 times. I can't remember what car I was in, but got auto spun like 3 different curbs, 3 separate times in 2 hours, and basically I should have yeeted my pedals off to the balcony at that point anyway, just for the sake of it. So I was so angry. But yes, it is there.
Okay.
I haven't actually had it at St. Croix, so I think Liam is massively out of luck to get that.
The reason I asked Viper is mostly because the British people that I Gran Turismo with, they blame it for anything. They'll be on
really?
AstroTurf, and they'll try and put the power down, and they'll loop it, and they'll say, "Oh, it's an auto spin curb." It's like, no, it wasn't. You just messed up. And so I got to the point of just believing they're a myth all round, but obviously not. That's good.
No, do
No,
tell
no,
that
they
to
do
Red Bull
have
Ring.
them.
It'll happen. That's all you need to do. It'll happen at some point. It's very common there.
Fuji as well.
Fuji
Yes,
turn.
Fuji turn
Fuji
2.
turn.
That got Mizano in the finals when he was leading. So that's a great
Polyphony just
example.
ignored it.
Yeah, they just went, "Oh, he's gone off." Oh yeah, no, I definitely auto curb spin. Bloke, though,
Auto
he does
curb
just
spin.
laugh. He just laughs. He just laughs it off. He's like, "Oh, polyphony."
Auto curb spin.
Yep.
Almost sounds like
confused.
360 no scopes.
Ollie LDJ. I'm getting over you already now. It's just too much talking. It's been a long day.
Mate, it's been a long day, mate. I even said, I'm just like, I wonder if this fatigue is going to get to Matt, because having, 58 laps around you back to back, that's just pretty heavy.
Yeah, those last 8 laps, like when I realised I was 25 seconds off the lead, I was like, I'll be stoked, as Jarman said. Like, I think I was stoked, like maybe the 6th or 5th, and then it just, I don't know, got to the last lap, and I was like, I'm going to send it on Liam for P2.
Yeah,
But,
but we tried to stint that out just so we didn't have obviously that fatigue come in. But I did think that might have come into play. But as Adam said, he just goes amateur sim racer, yes. Pro GT racer, not so much. So it's it obviously did show that that fatigue didn't really get the much of you. More or less a hardware issue got to you.
yeah, no, so I appreciate it. These things happen, but
I
yeah.
didn't call anyone an amateur. I just want to cover my back. I didn't say those words. They've been DJ filtered.
Yeah, exactly.
Big brains, mate. Big brains.
It's okay. I've got thick skin at least.
It's a great thing that DJ's a slightly better driver than he is a talker.
see the key,
That's questionable.
the key.
That's
No, the
really
key word there
questionable.
is slightly better than I am a
Yeah.
commentator. That's the key
I
word.
said talker,
there.
not commentator.
Well,
You're not a
same.
great rememberer either.
True, I'm not really good at anything, but
And
Jack of all trades, mate.
huh?
And-
Jarman, look who you've signed to your team next year. This is
Pretty dumb. He's got himself
Hey,
out already.
hey,
Not an
man.
announcement from It's Racing.
Hey,
New
look.
driver
I
coming on
just,
board
I
for
just think the
95.
mind games are starting already. Just
Nah.
trying to get in DJ's head.
I know. I think.
They
I
know
think
he's getting a
deserved
quick
it.
car, gonna be championship favourite.
the other thing is, I didn't race Jarman at all today. I just too busy getting sucked into racing Matt. I don't like it. I like racing Jarman and not Matt. That's Liam's thing to do.
I raced Jarman, and he was obviously awesome to race with. Those two stints that we did, it was pretty awesome.
You guys had a
Racing
great
amongst
battle.
us. Yeah, it was obviously we're known to have like really some good coming ins together between Jarman and myself. Jarman always pulls off the good old squeeze on the exit and just doesn't give you much room. And hey ho, I do the same thing, but sometimes the stewards decide to favour him in a few aspects, but I won't get into that. But,
Germany.
you know.
No burgering.
But besides all that, no, it's been a phenomenal season for the 95, and obviously all the drivers this evening. It's been a great show. Obviously, if it wasn't for our major sponsors in Elite Brake Mechanical for sponsoring this series, obviously it would have been very hard for us to get this up and running. And obviously all of our 28 drivers that have joined us this evening. It's been an incredible showing to have 28 drivers all participating in the MB Class 1500. So that's a stellar job. That's a stellar effort by all this evening.
Absolutely. Want to thank everyone that's streamed, jumped in the cars, like keep people competitive, or like keep the cars going, and just like all the perseverance throughout the day to like get to where we are now. It's like massive effort, and it takes a lot of patience to put up, especially with the Macca's Wi-Fi and the overheating PS5.
Look,
frickin'
as I said,
747.
I don't think it actually was a PS5. I think it was my hard drive having a bit of a stroke. But no, it's obviously I did join late under an admin, but these guys have a pretty strict and tight admin thing. But obviously we did have a few hiccups with safety cars today, but obviously, and people not reading drivers briefings, but that'll be passed on. But no, big congratulations to all parties concerned, and obviously hats off to Jarman. Obviously, if it wasn't to him, none of this would have happened this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely agree, and I want to let Jarman and Adam take the final reins of the final calls of this stream. Obviously, we thank everyone for tuning in. Obviously, if you want to see all this action, do subscribe to the Trackstars Racing Series YouTube channel for season 2022, where we start off with the Porsche Cups in January 16, all the way up to the day before GT7 comes out, and then we have a mammoth calendar coming up for the Formula Trackstars and touring cars. But for now, I will leave it in the hands of Adam and Jarman to sign off the stream.
I'll definitely handball it off to Adam.
Too busy in the simulator.
Yeah, I think he's muted. He's too busy trying to.
He's gone to get Neil.
No, he's trying to.
I was
trying to teach
talking.
Neil.
I'd forgotten how Discord works. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. It's been great listening to you guys on this kind of little post race that we've had here. Great to hear the camaraderie among the guys here at Trackstars. The MB Glass Sanquhar 1500 has been a spectacle unlike anything I've seen this year, real world or sim. It's been excellent to be a part of it once again. Excellent to have been around the late break and mechanical Trackstars touring cars to the extent I could be. I want to extend my thanks to the sponsors as well, to ITS, to DJ and Spud and everyone else who is a key factor in making this happen. The fact that I get to come and be a little part of it, frankly, when it suits me because of how things are in the real world, I greatly appreciate it. And I want to say one last congratulations to finish the stream to Diswood, to CP Motorsports on a fabulous 2021 campaign. Gran Turismo Sport, it's been real. Sometimes it's been real hard to cope with you, but thank you for all of the seasons we've had racing on this platform. We'll see the main Trackstars touring cars back again on Gran Turismo 7 next year, but for now, keep an eye on the channel. There'll be some other stuff going